Welcome back to the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour. I am Mike Witzak.
I am Rory Farrell.
And yeah, we're going to do the usual here. We're going to drink brew, discuss some mortgage related things. Stick around if you want to talk about student loans, because that's what we'll be talking about. But what do we have to drink today?
A special one near and dear to my heart. It's Moonlight Brewing, and it's called Death and Taxes. It's a black lager. Used to drink a bunch of it when I lived up in San Francisco. It's pretty regional to that area, so you can't really generally get it out this way. My brother sent it to me from a little care package from California. And yeah, it's just black lager. I think it's like 5.3%. Easy drinking and light, but from a body standpoint. But it's gonna drink dark. It's gonna have that roasty kind of coffee flavor. So
yeah, because you keep saying black lager, and I'm thinking of a stout for some reason. But
it's similar to a stout, but it doesn't have the heaviness of a stout.
Man.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So for those people, I thought for sure. Oh, did you blow it,
dude?
Oh,
I figured that was gonna happen too.
what a rookie mistake.
A rookie mistake.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. Just leave it to the veteran.
Don't start with me, kid.
All right.
All right, cool.
All right. But for those people who like stouts and porters, but
That's not how you're supposed to pour a stout, but it's not a stout technically.
and it's also not a nitro beer, so
Oh yeah,
I guess you haven't learned much here.
You schooled me at a comedy show about that one time.
But yeah, obviously, today it's 95 degrees. You don't want a stout or a porter. This is the summer version of a stout or a porter because it does drink lighter, like a lighter body, but still has all that flavor. So
Yeah, it doesn't smell like a stout. Interesting. Cheers, brother man.
and stouts and porters are generally ales. This is a lager, so it's a different yeast that they use, so it keeps it a little drier, less sweet. While you're tasting that, shout out to Dylan Farrell for sending this USPS.
Yeah, shout out D Farrell. You're the last Farrell I need to meet actually.
Yep, it is I think it's federally illegal to do that. So
He didn't do that. He actually
that.
they transported here, teleported here somehow.
I think that's also illegal
To teleport them here?
to transfer beer over state lines.
Nah.
Quite certain it is, but that's neither here nor there.
Because it
Let's
didn't
talk
happen. We bought it here anyway.
Let's talk about student loans.
Yeah.
So people who are in our industry know, but people who have student loans know.
Oh,
The
yeah.
federal students loans per COVID, since the beginning of 2020 have been deferred. So people haven't been making payments on them, which is great. However, from a loan qualifying perspective, we have always been required to count some sort of payment, even if it's a $0 per month as reported on your credit report, depending on the loan style, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA. We have to count a certain payment.
Yep.
And depending on which style it is, it's either 0.5%, 1%. And because the underwriter is going to assume that, hey, sooner than later, some sort of payment is going to be made. So we have to count something against you when qualifying. That only counts. You can only kind of make up this payment when it's being reported as 0 on your credit report.
Yep.
Which will change soon. So
It's going to change very soon, actually. So for instance, my student loans have been deferred for ever. I graduated college and I never had to pay them. They're like, it just got deferred. So they're coming back at the end of October, I believe, is when the first payments are going to be due. The interest just started accruing on them again, beginning of September. And when they go back into repayment is when we're going to have to be counting different payments monthly. So right now, when we run your credit, we see that you have a balance on your student loans, but you don't have any payments. So we're able to use at max 1% of that. At minimum, we could use 0.5%, depending on which agency we run you through. If we run you Freddie, or if we do it FHA, we can use 0.5% of your balance of student loans. So what's going to end up happening now is they're going to have payments on the monthly, which could be different than what your 0.5% or 1% payment is that we're adding to your credit now.
probably higher, which then in turn means that you may qualify for a less expensive home.
Correct. And now to give you an example though, too, just like a real life example, my student loans were in deferment, and I think my payment monthly was like $260 with the 1%, right? Because I owe like $26,000, say.
Mm-hmm.
I think my payment monthly is going to be like $267.
Okay.
So it might be close to where it was at, but it might be off too. You don't know. So
Yeah. So why we're bringing it up now is because obviously it's going to start going into repayment in the next 45 days or so. And if you have pre-quals that are out there and you've had it out there for 3 months, maybe touch base with your loan officer and just say, hey, how is this going to affect my loan if I have to rerun credit and have these, these student loan payments back in repayment? And if you have a loan officer who's kind of doing their due diligence and taking that next step, they may say, hey, when they go back into repayment, make sure they're in an income-based repayment plan or whatever the case is, so that maybe you can kind of manipulate those numbers so that is less than what it typically would be, making it more affordable to buy a home.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just, I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard.
It's going to catch a lot of people off guard. So make sure that you're, number one, prepared to pay your student loans, okay? Because the federal government will come for you, and they cannot go away. Even if you file for bankruptcy, the student loans will follow you everywhere. So make sure you're ready to pay. Don't fear that, though. And nothing to worry about. Just make sure you pay. And make sure that if you are in the market for a house and you're shopping around, that your loan officer is aware that if they pre-qualified you prior to your payments going back into repayment, I guess, that they have those new payments and they're not using the old 1%. Because when you
may come back to bite you when, let's say you have to get your credit rerun for whatever reason because it expired, and next thing you know, you have a $600 a month payment that you didn't previously have. That could potentially throw everything off, and you may not qualify for the house that you are under contract for. So just kind of preemptively looking at those things and just having a contingency plan or knowing where you're going to stand once your payment goes back to having to be repaid.
Yep. Yeah.
So be aware, guys.
Be aware. Maybe the $10,000 will come at some point in time. Who knows? Never know.
Will make a dent in almost nobody.
Yeah. So.
All right. Win for the week, Michael. You're up.
Just absolutely winning all the time.
Just in life.
Just in life, all the time. Such a winner. No, I think my win for the week would be the settlement I just came from, actually. Probably that. That was a pretty big win for me. I didn't realize. I'd been working with them for many years now, like two years almost. And they finally got a house under contract. Everything went super smooth. They were great to work. It was probably the cleanest approval I've ever gotten. It was like...
It's awesome. Those are the ones you need when some of the other ones are not as clean.
Yeah, it was like 3 things on the approval. I'm like, dude, awesome. So we settled. We were at the settlement table. And they're like, we're expecting in March. We haven't told anybody yet. Mm-hmm. Like, we're super fired up about this. It's going to be our first time buying a house together and stuff. I'm like,
it's just good vibes.
This is what I do it for. Yeah. So... it was nice.
It was very nice. Home to bring a baby into and build a life with, and it's kind of like we're so much numbers people. It's like the real effect of what we do, and it's cool.
He even said to me, he's like, "I thought you were like 60 years old. I didn't know what you looked like or anything." He's like, "I thought you were like 60." I'm like, "Nope,
boomer,
59, dude." Yeah, I'm like not 60 yet, but on my way, hopefully. So that was my win.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, you're not sick anymore. That's a pretty big win.
That's kind of nice. It's been almost 2 weeks at this point. I'm just kind of getting over it.
And you didn't give any of us it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, didn't give my kids it, didn't give my wife it. So
kept it to yourself, like all sick people should do.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a nice win. Feeling better, finally. Feeling quote unquote back to normal, back to the gym, back to
life,
having beers and
drinking
taking care of kids. And but today I got a clear. Not today. This week I got a clear to close on a VA client. She's so sweet. She's just got so much energy. So like appreciative of everything. She's a veteran. She's disabled. All these things. I mean, you want to help everybody, but
I know who you're talking about. She's great.
Yeah. You can when she calls the office, you can hear her on the other end of the phone, and she's just happy. So it was just very nice to be able to kind of get that one cleared to close. We're cleared to close like 2 weeks before settlement. Nice and smooth, and just it feels good to again help anyone, but those kind of hit home a little bit more. So she's excited, just young single woman, and just trying to realize a dream of home ownership.
Awesome.
So that's it's very cool, and I'm looking forward to meeting her in person at settlement next week.
Nice.
So
there you go.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Settlement next week. I thought it was like 20 days out.
No, we got the clear to close at the beginning of this week, and it settles on Thursday or Friday.
Gotcha,
so it's like 2 weeks ahead of time. Which, in this market, every settlement window is 30 days, and we're getting clear to closes 3 or 4 days ahead of time in some cases, and it just depends on how cooperative the client is and how quick the client gets things done, and we oftentimes are handcuffed by how quickly they want to work. But
Yeah.
he was awesome. Everything was quick and easy. The lender was awesome. Appraisal came back fine. Boom, boom, boom. And
Nice.
yeah, now we can just sit back and chill for 2 weeks and
Cool.
get ready for settlement. So
Party.
party arty.
Hey, yo.
All right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Reach out to us if you have questions about student loans or
Yes.
otherwise.
Yeah. And remember, kids, death and taxes.
Death and taxes and student loans.
Well, if you go to school, yeah. Student loans too. It's the only 3 things guaranteed in life. That's all I got.
Me too.
Later.
Later.
Bye. Cheers.